Senator Joni Ernst. Apologies, Senator. We're moving a lot of things around this morning with the breaking news. Senator Ernst of Iowa sits on the Senate Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee. No one better to talk about this particular issue. Senator, your thoughts on the numbers that Border Czar Tom Homan revealed at the press conference?
Yes, absolutely. And thank you so much. Drawing down that number of agents in Minnesota, while we will see a decreased presence, we will not see the end to the ICE engagements, which is really important. The president wants to make sure that these communities are safe from those that are here illegally, those criminal illegal aliens, the rapists, the murderers, the child predators. It is important that those actions continue to move forward, but be done in conjunction and collaboration with local law enforcement officials. So I'm really glad that Tom Homan is there. He will be able to work with those local authorities, but still make sure that we are apprehending the worst of the worst when it comes to these illegal aliens.
You know, Senator, staying in Minnesota, fraud scandals, they continue to plague the state. A number of arrests have been made as investigators uncover hundreds of millions of dollars in alleged fraud swindled from taxpayers through welfare and social services programs. Federal prosecutors have said the fraud could total $9 billion. So you are introducing legislation that targets runaway fraud to force scammers to repay taxpayers. Can you explain to our viewers how this bill will combat the fraud they're essentially paying for?
Yes, absolutely. And there is so much fraud going on, especially as you look at Minnesota. And as you stated, it's estimated to be upwards to $9 billion, perhaps even more dollars of taxpayer money that's been sucked up in these schemes. And so what I'm proposing is a bill that would go after these fraudsters. One, enabling the federal government to claw back the money, recover that money. But two, let's stop it in the first place. Let's make sure, as in the case of these child care or learning centers, learning centers, whatever they are in Minnesota, that we're not looking at enrollment, but actual attendance of children in these facilities. We would have to audit and make sure, doing random checks, that there are actually children at these facilities. And in some cases, perhaps offering reimbursement of federal tax dollars instead of providing upfront dollars in those situations. So we just need to simply close a lot of these loopholes. It is easy to close loopholes, but we have to have the enforcement actions as well by the federal government, which means if you are committing fraud, we're going to come after you. We're going to make sure we get those dollars back. We have a lot of people that work very hard to pay those tax dollars. We don't want it sucked away in these schemes.
Well, your office is constantly researching and identifying areas of waste, abuse, and inefficiencies. Because of this, you started to give out a Squeal award each month, which recognizes a Washington expense program or concept that has proven to be wasteful and must be cut. I like the name here. Who is January's recipient?
Well, we've had a number of recipients, but this year, of course, we are looking at ghost employees and the federal government and those employees that are double dipping, again, on the taxpayers' dime. We've had many federal employees that are actually claiming to work full time for different agencies at the same time. So we are going through, and artificial intelligence can help us with this, but going through and identifying workers with that same social security number that are registered to work at different agencies. We have had in the past a woman that was claiming to work over 26 hours a day for the agencies. And wow. I really think that's impossible.
Superhuman.
But we're finding examples of that.
Right.
Superhuman. But anyway, identifying that, but correcting it as well. Not only do we identify the fraud and waste in the federal government, but we propose changes to it to make it better for our taxpayers and make our federal government much more efficient.
Well, Senator Joni Ernst, great to have you. Thank you so much for all you do. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.